Shotguns have always had a special place in my heart, the same region where all the fantastically nostalgic games like Dungeon Keeper, Monkey Island, and Theme Hospital reside. Sure, you can catch up with all the modern stuff, PUBG, COD, M4 this, M4 that, but sometimes it's nice to step out of a comfort zone that is M4 conformism and step into the foreign wondrous lands that are shotguns. I get it, you could take your M4 to the firearm equivalent of an established clothing brand and dress it up as you please, whether it's amazingly stunning or outrageously horrendous looking, like what some parents do with their kids, because styles and modularity are pretty much limitless. The kids aren't modular, but you get the point. Shotguns, however, especially in Airsoft, don't usually follow this rule. In fact, they never really have. Marui had their Tri-Shot Spas 12 and M3 Super 90 way back when. Maru Zen had their shell-ejecting M1100 series, not much in terms of external upgrade. Only more recently have companies started to spice things up a little bit. APS released their amazing shell-ejecting shotgun, and a few of their beautiful kits were made for it. Marui has their Tactical 870 and its shorter brother, the Breacher, the KSG gas shotguns, which can be modified to a point by other brands like Laylax. But at least they tried with the AA-12, turning it into the monster that is the Thor's hammer. But that's it. I mean, I would include GMP, but their uninterestingly bland, single-round spring pump-action sniper shotguns have left a sour taste in my mouth.
You have this much time to give me ideas. Go!
I have an idea for the shotgun. We could, add rails to it for accessories.
Damn it, Jeffrey. You're a genius.
That scene speaks for itself. It seems like companies are just running out of ideas, whereas VFC always have something new. Well, kind of new, as they have been teasing the fully licensed Fabarm STF 12 gas shotgun for the longest time, and it's always been out of reach. Like what you believe to be the most beautiful girl in the world that you've been chatting with for the longest time, but have never met in person, and have always fantasized being with. Not thinking about any other woman, but is never in the same country. She keeps on saying she will visit, but never does, and so you wait and you wait, but you put your foot down. You buy tickets and you fly there instead, aiming for a chance to meet, and you do eventually, and you both get along great, hooray! But will I end up with a happy ending, or will I be blue-balled once again? Enough meandering, let's get down to business. The VFC Fabarm STF 12 looks intimidating yet stunning at the same time. And we all have the Real Steel version to thank for that, as Fabarm Professional, an extension to the Italian-based company Fabarm, wanted to offer a more versatile product to better suit the needs of the police, military, and private security sector within Italy. And if the Italians can do for their guns like what they do for their cars, then I don't see a problem with that. One thing you might have noticed is the markings, and what I can tell you is that the markings stay true to the Real Steel version, as this is a fully licensed product by BO manufacturer, due to the metallic construction with the polymer pump, grip, and stock with the rubberized butt pad at the rear. This is one heavy piece of equipment. It feels really solid. The only parts that do shift a little bit is the pump, the stock, and maybe the top rail just a tiny bit, but everything else is screwed in tightly. So, the STF-12 features a folding stock which you can fold over to the right side and stays securely in position. So secure, in fact, you're going to have to smack it out of position like what that girl did to the unfortunate lad during the Czech ketchup advert, if you guys remember that, way back when. There's an ergonomic pistol grip which houses the gas, the CO2 capsule in here, more on that later. There's a safety switch right behind the trigger. On the grip, we actually have a 2-inch Picatinny rail for lasers, flashlights, other foregrips, what have you. And at the front, a very aggressive looking muzzle device, which would help mitigate recoil, and a ventilation system on the barrel cover, which helps release the heat. Obviously, these are functions for the Real Steel gun and has no place in Airsoft, but whatever. On the top, you'll notice a Picatinny rail with a fiber red front and 2 green fiber rears. You can remove both of these, and you can adjust the rear sight from here and on the right side for windage and elevation. There are also 2 sling points on the left side, one at the front and one at the rear. Now the great thing about this top rail is that you can completely remove it by loosening this screw, raising it, and then lifting it slightly, moving it on over to the right or left side, unhooking it at the front, and now you have a tri-dot affair sitting much closer to the barrel, which is great. This is a very beautiful looking shotgun that weighs just under 3 kilos, and you can keep on stripping the clothes, the weight, to make it even much lighter. Now for that grip. As I mentioned before, the grip is the housing for the gas. This is the CO2 variant, so if you remove that cap with a hex key, you can insert a CO2 capsule and you'll get on average a good 50 pumps before you run out of gas. VFC have also mentioned that they're releasing a green gas version, though we do not have that specific model right here, right now, so I can't tell you the round count on how many pumps you can get out of that one. Though once you do run out of gas, I should mention that removing this specific cap can be rather troublesome, as you need to get it in at a certain angle, remove it, and then insert the key, and then try to put that cap back in at that same angle. If you're under pressure, you might have a little bit of trouble inserting it and tightening it, but we've all had that problem, right guys? No? Just me? Okay, now, right in front of the trigger guard is the release of the 30 round shell, which is very reminiscent of the Marui shell. Now before you ask, does that mean it takes Marui shells? Yes, that it does, though I do not have the red one with me. And it also means that it uses the Marui system, but it's a little more durable because it needed to withstand that CO2 gas. But it also means that if you pump it back, you could change it from 3 to 6 shot in the breech. 3 inner barrels, much like the Marui, and fixed hop, much like the Marui. Gambit has also done the round count and mentioned a secret compartment within this shotgun, but you can find that in a separate video, which you can find that video by clicking on that card or in the link in the description below. Now the great thing about this shotgun is that it doesn't just come in black, there's going to be a tan version too. There are also 3 different lengths. This is the standard one, there's going to be one with the longer barrel, there's one with this length except stockless, and it's also hugely modular. Do you not see why I'm in love with this gun? And I think I've covered everything. That also means that it's time to chrono the thing. For the chrono test, we're using 0.2 gram 6mm BBs. And surprisingly enough, it chrono consistently at just over 400 FPS. Welcome to W28 in Tin Soi Wai, one of the best CQB outdoor arenas in Hong Kong. They've just renovated and it looks fantastic. If you'd like to know more about them, do click in the link in the description below. But let's get back to the test. As I've mentioned before, the Fabarm STF 12 has a fixed hop. But I'm going to let you know that using 0.2 gram BBs is all you need for this particular range test. The BBs are inside. Those barrels over there are about 30 meters away. Let's take a couple shots at them. Woo! That's 30 meters. Meaning it could potentially go out to even 35, which is amazing. From what I just saw, the grouping is actually pretty decent from 30 meters away. Though once you start running out of gas, no matter what weight BBs you use, it is going to soar. But what we're going to do is now put it up, or pit it up, against my very own M870 by Tokyo Marui. Sure, it had some external modifications, but internally, it's pretty much the same. So, let's give this one a few shots. It's reaching there with just as much vigor, but I could still see the Fabarm performing a lot better, more accurately. So performance-wise, the STF 12 does a little bit better than the Marui 870, though the Marui 870 does have more gas inside its container. But what we're going to do now is go through a mini course with the Fabarm to see how well it performs in this CQB scenario. This one ought to be fun. So here's the course. I'm gonna start with my hands against these barrels here, pick up the shotgun and start making my way through half of the course. There are 4 targets around, I'm not entirely sure where they are. They're gonna make my way to the center point. I'm gonna remove 1 shell, replace it with the other, change it to 6 shots, and then go through the rest of the course. There are 5 other targets, make my way to the end, and I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as I can.
Are you ready?
Is that quick? Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready. There's one left. Another one. 4. There's another big cover. Go, 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 go. There's a shot. I really find myself after 6 shots. One behind the car. The left there. One thing I realized is that this has one flaw that the Marui 870 had. It slam fires, as I'll show you now. This is something I hope, or I wished, that VFC could have worked on to make it much like the KSG instead of the 870, but there's nothing much we could do about that now. Let's have a look at those results very quickly. Just had a quick look at those results. Judging from what I've seen, when it comes to those 3 shots, maybe some of them, they had 2 out of the 3, which is not so bad. When it comes to those 6 shots, not all of them had all 6 on, maybe about 3 or 4, 5 shots maybe, which is not bad, because what if there was a larger group of 2 or 3 people? You're not just hitting that one person, you could be hitting the friend to the left or to the right of him. So this shotgun is truly amazing for this kind of scenario. I guess that means we should take it back to the showroom. So, where would I place this shotgun in the ranks of current shotguns on the market? It comes in black or tan in 3 different models for each color. It'll make the Canadians and the Japanese happy since it uses either CO2 or green gas for those respective countries, or should I say duster for the Japanese. I only isolated those 2 specific countries because of their really annoying import laws, but that being said, everybody else around the world should be happy because it chronos very consistently. It's as gas efficient as the Marui with hopefully less internal flaws, since you never know what may potentially happen in a month or so. It's CQB friendly, it can push the distance even though you're outside. It's also user friendly, so you don't have to go around picking up shells, and it's hugely modular. So long as companies like VFC or other companies make the specific parts for it, please make the specific parts. And then Crytek had to come out and say that they were making the Origin 12, so yeah, it's gonna hurt my wallet. So where would you place this? Let me know in the comments section below. And you're also wondering, when will this finally be released? But don't worry, I've been informed that it may be released in the next couple months. If not, then you can blame VFC or BO manufacturer. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be seeing you guys on the next episode of RedWolf TV. Pornstash out.